That was cool, man. Woo! I get it, man. I get it. Ah, it's so fun. They're spacious too. I mean, for the person driving it.
This is like my favorite turn on the way to work, but
that's how every story ends. I'm gonna show you this turn.
Well, this is fine because we'll be alright.
Focus on driving. I'll see it. Oh yeah. Oh shit. That was a badass turn.
Yeah, it's fun.
Car stopped there for a little bit, but other than that, it was good. Alright everyone, welcome back to Automotive Anatomy. Today we have Brandon, Mr. Carr. Thank you so much for making some time for us, man. So tell us, man, what do you drive?
So this is a 2001 Toyota MR2 Spyder, or MRS is what people call it as well, or in Japan is what it's called. And then I think it's also called MR2 Roadster in Europe. Yeah.
How long have you had it for, and why this platform?
I've had this car for, I think it's about 3 years now. I had it back in 2016 was when I bought it. I actually got it off a friend of mine. His name is Tung, and I chose this platform pretty much because I actually come from driving a SW21, which is the NA version of the older MR2, and that's what I was tracking back then. I started with autocrossing, obviously did a couple of spirited driving in the canyons and stuff, and I always wanted to do like a NA build, so I was actually gonna go 3SGE on that, beams. But then, all these look good. I always thought of them as girls' cars and stuff. I was like, oh, I was like the AW11, which is the first gen, and the second gen. Like I never really cared too much about the third gen. And then when his rolled up, I was like, oh, this is cool. And then the next thing was my buddy Cosman. He has a white one where he did like Techno Pro Spirits theme on it. I actually went on a ride along on Streets of Willow with him, and man, it was just
Hooked.
insane. Like after that, I was just like, oh, you know what, like I really want to get one. And then also watching best motoring videos with Hot Version. Techno Pro Spirits obviously is a big inspiration, so like I was always following his build, and I was like, yeah, I really want to build one of these.
What was your vision for it?
So like I said, I wanted to do like an NA build. So I actually come from a background of Celicas, actually, because my brother owns a Celica GTS, and that's pretty much was my inspiration for the 2ZZ motor and why I really like the 2ZZ a lot. So I was like, oh yeah, I want to do a 2ZZ all NA build, not trying to boost it or anything, like reliability.
Right.
And yeah, that was mainly the reason why I want to keep it that way. Keep it lightweight, high revving, responsive, and
sweet. What is one thing you don't like about the car?
the no trunk.
What are you talking about? You have a little space up front.
I mean, I have like I have tools and stuff up front, obviously coolant and everything like that. I even have a spare, so in case something happened, because I used to daily the car like all the time. But yeah, I guess that's where it was lacking, is the trunk space. But it's honestly not that big of a deal.
Right.
So, I mean, it also makes it a lot easier to work on it, because on the older MR2s, they both had trunks, and then you're bending over it. But this one is like, you have access right there, because it's only the bumper.
But what do you got going on in the front?
Okay, so this is a Sabon lip. It's pretty much like a TRD replica, but it's Sabon carbon fiber. That's pretty much it. I have the JZA80, so the super side markers on it. So
what kind of tire? Tell us about your wheel and tire suspension. What do you got going on?
all right, so for wheels, I have the 9x9s, 15x8 up front, and then 15x9 in the rear. So I'm running a staggered setup right now. They're plus 36, I believe, offset all around. And for tires, I'm running R888 Rs. It's 195/55 up front, and then 225/50 in the rear.
Sounds like very good size.
It's kind of meaty.
Kind of meaty.
Looks
good.
good.
What kind of suspension do you have? Sorry.
Oh yeah. So for suspension, I'm running actually Paratrix right now. I'm actually going to take them off. I have a different setup I'm going to run, which is actually BC Racing with Tanabe springs.
Ooh,
Tanabe Pro 210 springs. So that's the next setup that's going to go.
A little firmer?
Yeah, so it's actually, it's 8K up front and then 10K in the rear. So it's going to be...
That should be fun.
It's probably going to be pretty... It might be too stiff, we'll find out. But I'm also going to... I'm also playing with... Gonna go towards aero next as well, like more aero. So it's gonna get like a front splitter and then also a wing. So I'm hoping I can figure it out to make the suspension work with all that.
What other suspension components do you have?
So I have white line front sway bar. I did have the full set front and rear, but I'm running OEM rear right now. I'm still messing around with like sway bar settings and matching with coilovers and everything. And then I have TRD bracing, so I have like front strut bar, rear strut bar, and then under brace. And then also the Corky breastplate, which is like an upgrade. A big upgrade for these, because especially on the 2000s to 2002, they didn't really have a good breastplate, which they upgraded on the 03 to 05.
Sweet, man. Tell us about your hardtop. What brand? How long have you had it? Likes, dislikes?
So that's probably one of my top mods for this car is the hardtop, because it makes it look so good, actually. It is an expensive tag. You pay quite a bit to get it, but I've had it, I would say probably 2 years, because it was later on the first year of ownership that I found this girl. Her name was Anna. I thought it was a dude at the time, but she texted me. She was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a girl, don't walk past me when you come to look at the hardtop." But she was selling her car and it was black, and then she had the hardtop, so I asked her, I was like, "Oh, would you part it out?" And then she was like, "Oh yeah," but then she knew like the pricing, so
she was enthusiastic. It's good.
So I did have to pay for the price tag for it, but it's really good. Like I like it.
The fitment's right on, and I love the rear window. How even it just kind of comes a little bit here. It just makes it. I don't know. How's the blind spots on this?
I mean, it's a small car, so there's not really blind spots. There's actually more blind spots on the stock soft top, because you only have that smaller window.
Right.
This one curves around, so you get like you can see. More.
I like that. Cool. And then you also mentioned something about your vents. Tell us about your vents, what the differences are.
Oh yeah, so since this car's a 01, these vents are actually from 03 to 05. So I upgraded. I actually really wanted a 03 to 05, but because I got a good deal on this from my buddy, I was like, you know what, that's fine, I'll just upgrade everything to make it look like a 03 to 05. So yeah, it's these vents, and then also the rear bumper inserts are actually from 03 to 05. But these are actually from my buddy Davis, the one I was telling you about, and he did a cutout when he did his bumper exhaust, so that's why I already have the cutout there as well. So I just like extended it to fit my bumper exit exhaust as well. And
then tell us a little bit about the rear diffuser.
Yeah, so again, my buddy Davis, this is from him. He's kind of like, I guess you can say, is like a sponsor of mine, good friend of mine as well. This is his. It's a RCN type diffuser is pretty much what it is. It actually bolts onto the stock points where the diaper or under panel goes.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
It bolts.
Cool design.
Yeah. So there's not much modification except for another good friend of mine. His name was Mike. He helped me make the brackets for the furthest out brackets, because it didn't really have anything there, and I don't know if I didn't really look too much into if they wanted you to bolt it to the bumper or not, but I didn't want to do that.
Right.
So I bolted it to the crash beam, and that's pretty much how it is. So it's pretty sturdy. The center section needs a little bit more to tighten it all up, but yeah.
But now it's doing the job.
And it covers all the way underneath to where the gas tank is pretty much. So it pretty much covers everything underneath.
And then tell us a little bit about your exhaust system. What do you have going on?
Yeah, so I need to upgrade. That's one of the things in the books.
It sounded nice as it is.
But right now I'm just running a swap header, and then I'm actually running the stock cat. So the stock piping, which is the stock cat on there. So it's not proper for this engine, so I am lacking some power from that. But then it's just a little bumper exhaust, this little part that comes out from there. So it did save me some weight on the stock exhaust, but I do need to upgrade to the PPE header and mid pipe, which is what is a future plan for me. The only issue with that is that this diffuser doesn't really work with that PPE header setup. So that's why I'm holding off, and I'm trying to enjoy the diffuser right now. But once I do go that route, it has to come off, and then I maybe have to go figure out a different diffuser for this.
Sweet, man.
All right, so it's a Bride, it's on Bride brackets, right? And it's a Recaro C SPG. And then I have a TRD short shifter that my buddy Gio actually got from Techno Pro Spirits. He was out in Japan.
No way.
And then he actually messaged me and he was like, hey, I'm over. He's like, he told me ahead of time that he was gonna go visit them. But then when he was actually there, he messaged me and I was like, oh, I was like, can you grab it for me? Because he's like, oh yeah, they have a TRD short shifter. And I was like, can you grab it for me and everything, right? And he actually got it like super cheap because they want a lot of money over here for it. So he cut me a good deal. Thanks a lot to him for that one. So I got that one for super cheap, TRD short shifter for the 6-speed. And then I have a TWM little extender with it and a TRD Duracon shift knob. And pretty much the throws, because of that extender, goes back to stock. So like even though the stock was already good enough, and then the short shifter made it like a lot shorter and more firm with the TRD short shifter, but when I threw the extender on it, it did bring it back to like the stock throws. But it's better because it's like closer to the steering wheel.
Oh, okay,
gotcha.
Gotcha.
Makes it easier on the track and everything like that. I have these little wind deflectors right here. These are from Mongol on the forum. I actually got them from my buddy Spencer because I was in the MR2 community, so I know a lot of MR2 guys. He got out of the community and he gave me a box of like things that he had. I just gave him bare, you know.
Very functional?
Very functional, as in you don't get hit in the face by debris and stuff. So if you look at Miatas and other smaller cars, they have like a little window right there. This car didn't come with anything like that. So when you are on track or even on the street or anything, rocks and like tire and stuff that fling up, it can hit you in the face. But when you have that, it like stops that.
That's awesome. That's a cool little piece.
So yeah, that's other than that, just my roll bar, which is a hard dog, single diagonal. And then my dad actually helped me with the little fire extinguisher mount on that. So
that's
we did
pretty
like
cool.
A little fire extinguisher. It's a little custom one-off. Hopefully it saves me if anything ever happens.
It won't. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, that's about it. I need to do a 6-point harness is one of the things I want to do next, and that's pretty much it for interior. Kind of dirty.
Well, you use it. You use it and you track it, so that's fine.
A couple of offs at the track to get you this.
So tell us, Brandon, what do we got going on?
So it's a 2ZZ from, I guess you can say, like Celicas. I mean, Corolla XRSs, Matrix XRS, Lotuses use it as well. I think even the Pontiac Vibe GT uses it as well. It's another car that has it. 180 horsepower. I think it's like 130 torque. Mine's obviously a little deprived of that with the exhaust setup it has, because even the stock 2ZZ on the Celica, if you look at their headers, is a lot bigger diameter than this one. So lacking in exhaust flow on this for sure, and that's why the PPE opens it up like a lot more and makes it a lot better. But besides that, I mean, I just have a PPE intake on it and TRD strut bar right here, which are a discontinued piece, and that's about it.
Well, they don't really need that much. They're great little motors. So I mean, there's the exhaust system that you're talking about. It's cool, man. And then you also said you have a 6-speed tranny, right?
Yeah. So it's I actually got that 6-speed tranny through a LSD in it not too long. Again, my buddy Gio, he found one from a Lotus that was for sale. Got it pretty cheap online, and it's always Geekin or Geiken LSD. So got that put in and threw the trans back on. Way better. Yeah. Way better than open. Like, I was tracking so long with open, and then now I know why I don't ever want to go open again.
It does make a difference, huh? Sweet. Other than this is than the exhaust system, any future plans for the actual motor, building it?
So like I said before, I do want to go with just the PPE exhaust system on it, and then as for motor, I wanted to keep it as reliable as possible as well. Like I drive it to the track, drive it back, and then I did use it a lot for daily driving. I don't anymore, but I did before. So my plans, I mean, way down the line, I mean, Techno Pro Spirits had like, what's it called, ITB setup on it.
Oh wow.
But it's kind of like, it's really hard. You have to go like small stacks on it, and then you do have to cut like your firewall out and stuff to like fit it properly. They did a setup, if you look at their car as well, with ITBs, which I always loved ITBs, obviously wanting to go like NA setup, do an NA build. And that was something like maybe way down the line, but for right now, I'm cool with like not even throwing cams. Like I thought about cams and everything like that, but I'm just like, I just want to do a better flowing exhaust, and I'm cool with that and just work on my driving.
All right, Brandon, so thank you for showing us your car. What are the future plans and any shout outs?
So like I said, I want to do just a better exhaust setup. I also want to fix some cooling on it as well, so do like oil cooler, and I also want to get gauges to check all the temps, and pretty much just keep driving it and set up suspension a bit better, maximize my grip in the corners, and obviously with that more aero parts are going to go on, so it's going to be a splitter and wing that are going to be coming on it as well. And then probably start competing later on. We'll see. I need to keep getting my driving up, but we'll see how it goes.
And any shout outs?
Yeah, so I had a lot of people help me out, and I mentioned a few of them already, and but they obviously know who they are, and and I'm not gonna list everyone because I might forget somebody's name and then it's gonna be bad. But yeah, it was a lot of people helped me out throughout the build of this, either finding parts, putting stuff on it, taking stuff off, and I really appreciate like all the help that I got. I have a lot of good friends, so.
All right, well, Brandon, thank you so much, man, for making the time for us. I truly appreciate it. Can't wait to see the future plans for this car and you ripping on the track. It looks like it's already a lot of fun, but with the aero that you're going to be adding, it should just make all of that difference. So thank you once again, man, and best of luck with the build.
Thanks, man. TRD short shifter with a TWM extender.
Nice.
But it's actually, I also, oh, sorry, I fucked up. My fault.
You're good.
I mean, it's right, but I fucked it up how I want to say it. All right.
You want to start?
Yeah, I'll start over on that one.
The whole thing, or just that?
The whole thing.
All right, man. So tell us, what do we got going in the interior?
Yeah, so I have a bride seat, SPG. Or
I was like, wait, what? Damn! This whole time I thought it was a Ricardo seat.
I'm over here.
I heard that. I was like,
fuck.
I'm not gonna. I mean, dude, if it's a bride, it's a bride. A brid on top of that. All right. There you
it's
go.
a bride seat, bro.
3, 2, 1. So tell us, what do we have going on in the interior?
So I actually have a Recaro SPG seat, and it's on bride seat rails, and
it's a shifter, dude. I don't know. You tell me.
All right, let me just fix this.
Just say this. Okay, so go for it.
All right.